Welcome back to Locally Sourced on WCSF 88.7 FM. Today we have a very special guest. You may know her from the last season on The Voice, local musician Olivia Minogue. Welcome on.
Hello, hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very excited that you guys asked me. This is the first in-person radio interview that I've done, so a little nervous.
Welcome. Tell me about your time on The Voice.
Yeah, so that's a pretty loaded question. So I was on season 24 of The Voice this past season, and it was probably the best experience that I could have asked for. I'm specifically fond of this singing show just because I really like the idea of the blind auditions.
Yeah.
So if anybody who's not familiar with the show, it starts out with auditions where the coaches are turned around and they can hit their buzzer or hit their chair to turn around if they want you on their team. So it's kind of like the same concept as some of the other TV shows where, they're like, oh, I want you to, go to Hollywood, or I want you to be on my team, or we want you on the show. So I really like the idea of the blind auditions because it's solely about your voice and the music, and then they can get to know you. I think that's pretty cool. And for the process itself, it's honestly a pretty long process. It began it began over a year ago when you do the initial interview or the initial audition,
like to get onto the show.
Yeah,
basically?
To like audition to audition. So they have open calls all the time online. I see ads for them. So I just decided to sign up for one day, and that was in like November 2022, and it brought me all the way to Los Angeles in June 2023. So that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
Tell me about your time in like Los Angeles. Like, did you have any free time aside from like being on The Voice?
Yeah. So surprisingly, there was a lot of downtime for all of the contestants. So the way that the process goes is they bring out approximately like 100 contestants for the blind auditions, and so they're working with a lot of people at once, and so they have to get through interviews and wardrobe fittings and practices, band rehearsals with all of these contestants who are auditioning. So, and they really take their time with everybody. So while you're not doing that, there's plenty of time to explore, make new friends. We're all kept at a hotel in Los Angeles, and they take care of you really well, and I'm very grateful for it. So I just started making friends with all of these other contestants and incredible musicians that were there, and we would go downtown and with our free time and like go out, explore, go to these restaurants, stuff like that. So it was truly amazing, and it was like the best vacation ever.
So talking about the restaurants, like it's like I'm a big foodie myself. So like, was there like a favorite?
Yes. Yeah? Oh my gosh. So I actually, in the past, I haven't really kind of explored a whole lot with different cuisines, but there was a lot to try there. So, and the friends that I made were kind of, pushing me. They're like, oh, you should try this. You should try that. Yeah. It's really good. So I discovered Korean barbecue. Ooh. And it was the best thing that I've ever had. I even went there alone one time just because I was like, I want it so bad. It was so good. And it's like fun too. You get to cook in the little grill in the middle and all that. So fun experience, good food. I tried Indian food for the first time.
How do you like that?
It was really good. I want classic butter chicken, I was playing it safe, but it was good.
Have you had their naan? Like naan?
Yes,
That's good.
I had the garlic naan.
Garlic naan. Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, and there's like a bunch of little like shops for like little sweet treats and stuff like that. And I'm a big thrifter too, so they had like a ton of really cool vintage thrift shops. So I would definitely say that I spent more time than I should have walking around downtown spending the money that they gave me to go and find random cool pieces.
Cool.
So yeah, I would definitely say that while we weren't rehearsing or interviewing or recording, there was tons of fun stuff for us to do while we were out there.
All right. Talking more about you on The Voice. Now, during the process, like your experience, like past the blind auditions. So you had the blind auditions, and then you chose Team Niall as your team. Tell me about that. Like, what made you decide to choose Team Niall?
Well, I knew since like they announced who the coaches were going to be for that season that if I had the opportunity, I was going to go with Niall. I wouldn't call myself crazy, but I was like a huge fangirl. Since I was like 10 years old, like since One Direction became like the biggest new band, and I was like totally obsessed. Niall happened to be my favorite. I don't know. I think I just based it off the fact that he was Irish and I'm Irish, so I was like, okay, I pick him. But also he's an incredible musician, and his solo career is doing amazing as well.
He has some good songs. Off his latest album.
Yes, I really love his new album as well. So I just knew that I was destined to be on Team Niall. And I remember in one of the interviews that I had prior to flying out to Los Angeles with some of the producers of the show, they asked me that question. They were like, if you were to choose any coach that we've ever had on the show, who would you choose? And so, of course, I chose Niall, and I was like, I pulled out this necklace that I had when I was like 12 or 13 that I got from my grandma, and it was like the classic like One Direction merchandise, and it like specifically had his like signature on it. It was like this tacky little cheap necklace, but I loved it, and I was like, I still have this like necklace for when I was such a huge fan. And so they're like, bring that with you when you come out, and they worked it into my wardrobe for my audition and everything. So I was like, wow, we're really leaning into the fact that I'm a big Niall fan. I hope he's not scared or anything, because I'm sure that he has lots of interesting fan encounters. But I tried to play it cool as much as I could. So he, thank God, he turned for me during my audition. John Legend, Niall Horan, and Reba McEntire all turned for me, which I am surprised, excited, grateful, eternally. And I immediately knew that I was going to go with Niall for, the fact that I was a huge fan of him. And I'm glad that I did, because he's a truly genuine, hardworking person, and he had the best interests for all of his team members. So I couldn't have asked for a better experience. It was so awesome.
Sounds like it. Like you had an awesome time.
Yeah.
Like what like the overall your overall time like being there, like being on The Voice. What would you say like your favorite thing of all was, like was doing?
Okay, so my my favorite part of the show, which is it's kind of funny because it's one of the things that actually isn't music related, but aside from music, another one of my passions is clothes, makeup, wardrobe, fashion, stuff like that. And so the fact that we had the opportunity to work with personal stylists and go to a warehouse filled with like the coolest clothes, outfits, shoes, jewelry, all that stuff. And then, they had designated time for us to sit down in the glam chair and do our hair and our makeup. And it was just like the coolest thing ever to me, because I get super excited about those sort of things. And so when I'm working with professionals like that, it was just the best time ever for me. I'm like, and they work with everybody. So like the guys are getting makeup, even if of course, day to day they wouldn't wear any, but, I was thrilled to be there. So yeah, honestly, one of my favorite parts I would say is the hair and the makeup, aside from working on the music. And, behind the scenes as well is something that I really hold close to my heart. All of the contestants that we were there with became very close, and I'll be friends with a lot of them for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And so just being stationed in LA with all of these incredible artists, and we have all this downtime and we're just playing music together, singing, writing, like recording little clips, stuff like that, was like the best thing that an artist can ask for. It's like vacation mixed with like music, working with other artists. It was amazing. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's like about all the time we have, I think.
Okay.
But you do have a show coming up.
I do.
Where can people find more information about that?
Okay, so I am playing a show at the Forge in Joliet,
All right.
Illinois. Next weekend, it is Friday, January 26th. Doors open at 5:30. The show starts at 6:30. I'm playing with my band. They are Michael Kovac, Mason Parker, Danny Singh, and Nathan Liberty. And we're playing a set, approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours of pop, rock, R&B covers. And if you go to the Forge's website or if you go to their Facebook, there's a link to purchase tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You can also go to my social media, and I have the link for tickets available as well. And I am nervous, but I'm super excited.
Well, I'm planning to go. So
Awesome.
I purchased. And
Thank
so I'm
you
planning
so
to go.
much.
Yeah. I saw on your story Chris Stapleton.
Yes.
So
yeah, we were practicing some Chris Stapleton.
Cool.
Decided to post a little snippet of that.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm super excited.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited too. First
Thank
concert of
you.
2024.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first on WCSF 88.7 FM. I'm Will, and this is Locally Sourced, where we discover local music from the Illinois music scene. Coming up, we have some awesome songs from different artists around the Illinois area. But first, here is Olivia Minogue's song, Idea of You. Before we play it, is there anything you want to say about the song?
I would just say that this is the first song that I ever wrote and recorded. I am very proud of it, and the lyrics are pretty straightforward. There's no deciphering that needs to be done here, but it's just about somebody that the idea that you form of them in your head turns out to be better than real life.
Cool. Well, without further ado, here is Idea of You by Olivia Minogue, only on WCSF 88.7 FM.